KLWP. Have you heard of it? Are you interested in it? Do you wish to get started with it? So that you can build beautiful and fully customizable home screen that fits your needs? You're in the right place. In this series, we will start from ground zero and explore everything that KLWP has to offer. So, let's get started. Our first step is to install KLWP app from Play Store. Simply search for KLWP, look for this icon, click install. When it's done, open it. On first launch, we'll be presented with a wizard. Click through it to proceed. It will ask us for permissions. You can deny it for now and grant permissions later as you need it. Next, it will ask us to set a directory where all files related to KLWP will be stored. Let us create a directory named custom in the root of our internal storage and click use this directory. Once the first launch wizard is completed, we will be presented with this Explore window. Here, on the top, we see two main options. We can use this to create a new wallpaper from scratch. Also, here we can see a list of default presets that comes bundled with the app to help us get started. What is a preset, you ask? It is simply a file that contains all the resources that is required to install and use a KLWP wallpaper. Any wallpaper that we create within KLWP can be easily exported into a preset and can be shared with anyone. Also, we can find excellent presets created and shared by our very talented community members and use it. We can also see some links to community-made presets here in the Discover section. However, keep in mind that in order to import a preset, we will need the Pro version of KLWP. More on this later. To get an idea of what KLWP can do, let's click on one of these default presets. We will be greeted by this interface. This is called the Advanced Editor. At the center, we see an interactive preview window where we can see a real-time preview of our design and any changes that we make. This is a configuration window. A wallpaper is usually made up of multiple smaller elements. This is where all those elements will be listed. To get comfortable, we can check out some more default presets. Open the menu on the left and click on Load Presets. Again, pick any one from the list and it will be loaded onto the Advanced Editor. Instead of starting from scratch, we can modify one of these, or we can use these as reference to build our own wallpaper. We can play around with this without worrying about breaking anything. At any point, we can apply the wallpaper by simply clicking the save icon. Since this is the first time we are setting the wallpaper, Android will ask us to set KLWP as the default wallpaper. Do not worry, we only have to do this once. Android will show a preview of the wallpaper. Simply click Set Wallpaper and choose Home Screen to apply it. That's it. We have a beautiful live wallpaper on our home screen that we can edit and change as we see fit. From now on, anytime we want to make a change, simply open KLWP, make the changes, check the preview, and if everything looks good, click on Save. It will be applied to our home screen. Let's modify this preset. Click on this Add button on the top right corner. We will see a bunch of options. We will explore these in detail later. For now, let's click on this Text option. A new text element will be added to the configuration window. By default, a text element will show the current time, but we can easily change it to anything that we want. Simply click on the text element and in the very first field we can see the default text. Click on it and we'll be presented with an editor and a lot of options. These are called functions. We will be exploring these later. As of now, we can delete everything here and put our text, for example, Hello World. Click on the check mark on the top right corner to save it. We can see our changes in the preview. This text element offers a few more properties that we can change depending on our needs. We will take a look at these properties later. For now, let's go back and add one more element. Click the Add button and this time let's choose the Shape option. A shape element will be added to the configuration window, and by default it's a white square. We can see it in the preview. We can edit its properties or we can change the shape if we want. Click on the shape element. In the very first field, we see that the shape property is currently set to square. Click on it and we'll get a list of other supported shapes that KLWP has to offer. Click on any one. The preview will change and also the list of properties will change based on the selected shape. Let's try to increase the size. This looks plain and boring. Also, it does not match our wallpaper. So, let's try to change its color. How can we do it? In the configuration window, all properties of an element is grouped into separate tabs. Currently, we are looking at the shape tab of this element. There are more tabs to the right. We can either swipe to get to the next tab or we can click on the tab headers. To change the color, we need to go to the Paint tab. Here, we can see the color property. Click on it and choose any color. Let's try to move it down. In the configuration window, go to the Position tab and we can see a few properties. X offset will move the element horizontally. Y offset will move the element vertically. And the anchor will move it to one of these preset locations. Let us set the anchor to top and change the offset to something like this. Let us try to position the Hello World text element on top of this shape. Let me quickly change the color. Let's move it using the position properties. And as we can see, the text gets covered. How can we fix this? In the configuration window, we see our two elements. KLWP has the ability to layer elements on top of each other, such that the first element in the list will be the bottommost layer, and any element added later will be layered on top. So, to fix our problem, we need to rearrange our text element layer such that it comes after the shape element layer. Simply click and drag using this dotted grid-like icon to change the order of the layers. Our text is now visible. However, it looks like the background is still offset. Let's adjust the position. This time, instead of using the big movement, let's use the plus and minus for a much precise movement. That looks perfect. Save it and congratulations, we have built our very first custom wallpaper. Now that we have experienced a glimpse of what KLWP is capable of, it is time to talk about KLWP Pro. If we want to create a preset from scratch and use it, we can easily do it with the free version. It is supported by ads, but it does not limit us from bringing our ideas into life. However, the Pro version will give us the complete freedom to put our imagination to test. It removes all the distractions such as the ads from the editor so that we can focus purely on our creations. It unlocks the import feature We can experiment with multiple ideas, multiple variations, maintain backups of them, and unlocks the possibility to use presets developed by the community. Also, it is a simple way to keep this project alive. All this for a small one-time fee. No hidden costs, no subscription, no recurring payments. If you care about theming and personalization, I think this is a must-buy. The choice is yours. In the next episode, we will explore more commonly used elements and properties.